Hey, what's up? It's Matty at mixandmastermysong.com. Today I'm going to go over 3 different ways I use the Pultec plugin or EQ. The Pultec is an EQ that's been around for years. There's a lot of different versions of it. The one I tend to use as of late is the Acustica Audio Purple EQ, which is a Pultec. So I'm going to show you just 3 different ways I use it on just about every mix, and hopefully that might help you guys find creative ways to use the Pultec depending on whichever one you use. So let's jump in. We'll check it out. The first thing I tend to use it on is kick drums. Sometimes right on the track, but also sometimes parallel. And so I'll play this little loop for you. This is my buddy Meekins song.
Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you.
So you can hear it. I'm gonna play it now without the parallel, and then I'll show you what I'm doing.
Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy.
So you can hear it really cuts through the mix a lot more with that on. Some of it's gain level, but a lot of it's kind of the punch and the way I have it set up. The first thing it does is, so here's our kick track. We're sending it out on a bus to another bus, which is the input here, kick parallel in. And so I hit it with the DBX using the UAD version here. I think Waves has one too.
Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like.
So we're compressing it really hard. Let me solo it so you guys can hear what it does. So we'll mute the Pultec and we'll mute this. And then we put the DBX, really snappy compressor, really makes things punch through. See how it really makes things attack. And then you get the purple. So the beautiful thing about the Pultec and why it's used so much is that you can boost and attenuate at the same time. Now, and what it does is it gives a really kind of pleasant musical sound. The reason it does this is the boost and the attenuate affect kind of different frequencies. And the boost tends to push a little more than the attenuate brings down. So what it does, it can sometimes shave off a bit of the low end while boosting the part of the punch. And it will clean up the low end a bit while also giving it a boost. It's the best way I can describe it. And you can hear it, check it out, where I'll play it with it on and off now. I mean, it really adds a lot of thickness to it. And then once you put it in on your parallel disc, you kind of blend it in the taste. Let's bring this back up, and then we can hear it.
Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months.
So that's pretty cool, right? It really gives you some like strength in your low end. Also great on bass guitars or bass synths. Love using it on that. The other spot I had in this song was on the lead vocal, and I just didn't feel like the vocal was cutting through enough. So a lot of times what I'll do is just boost a couple dB around 10K or 12, depending on, what sounds best, and it can really make the vocals shine. So I'm going to bypass it. We'll play it for a loop, and then I'll turn it back on for a loop so you can just hear what it's doing. It's fairly subtle, but it really helps push the vocal forward.
Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me? And
really kind of adds like a little expensiveness to it is the best way I can say it. It just makes it sound good. So it's awesome for vocals, and I used it just sometimes for a little bit of boost, and sometimes if I'm having a thin vocal, it wasn't necessarily really needed here, I'll boost around 100 and attenuate just like I did on the kick, which can help give you some warmth and depth to your vocal too. So that's for the vocal. Let me make sure I didn't actually boost that. Okay, cool. And then lastly, and I do this on every mix, is it's part of my kind of master chain, final bus chain, depending what you want to call it. So what I'll do is I'll boost and attenuate around 100 or 60, depending what it sounds like on the mix. On this song, it sounded better at 100. Boost about 3, attenuate about 2, and then I boost at 16, about 4 to 5, depending, again, on the mix. I always do this before I really start mixing. So this is on my bus before I do much EQ or anything. I'm getting my levels and I turn this on. The reason I do that is because it helps me to not have to EQ so much on all the individual tracks, and just makes it a lot quicker to pull the mix together, and less plugins you have to use, which, the less plugins a lot of times makes the song sound better. The more stuff you put on in computer processing, the more, stuff you have on that can make things sound a little funky. So the less plugins, the better. And so I'll play this before and after so you can hear what this is doing.
Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me and you? Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like, yo, you wanna be friends with me and you? Maybe it was the alcohol, maybe it's just the energy. I messaged you 6 months ago like...
And you can hear it's quite a big difference. And why it's such a big difference is because I mixed with that on there. It'd still make a difference if we just put it on there. But all my EQ choices and compression choices and everything else were based with that EQ on. So it makes a huge difference taking it off after I've done the mix. So anyway, like I said, the Pultec's one of my favorite EQs. I use it on all the more important things in a mix. Really dig Acusticas. It has a little more thump, but doesn't get funky. It's weird. I like the low end of this plugin better than some of the other ones that are out there, especially with the low end. It seems more real to me, if that makes sense at all. But they all sound pretty good. But this one's just got a little extra something that I like. Anyway, long story short, I hope you liked the video and I was able to help you out. If you got any comments, please leave them below. Please like and subscribe if you can. It helps us to keep pushing these videos out. And if you need any songs mixed or mastered, hit me up at Matty at mixandmastermysong.com. Thanks.